We'll be live in just a few seconds, folks. Sometimes YouTube could be a little slow in the morning. All right, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. Everybody's got the link. Sergey, good morning. Brian, good morning. Hopefully, everybody had a nice weekend away from Uncle Roger and away from the market. If you guys could hear me okay, if I'm coming in nice and clear, if I don't need to turn up my mic, let me know. Timothy, good morning. David, good morning. Angie, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Assam, Doc Engineer, David. We'll give the room as usual till 100 people are in to fill up, and then we will begin. Let me also share my screen so that everybody could see what I am looking at. All right, we're good to go. Cam, good morning. I hope you had a nice weekend. Hope you made some nice food. Olya is in the house. Michael is in the house. JB's in the house. David's in the house. Carlos, good morning. Good morning. And like I say, good morning, traders and investors. Penny's in the house. Marina's in the house. Good, 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 good. Well, we already have 85 people. We don't have to wait that long to get started. As we get the room to fill up, just a few housekeeping things. Real easy and simple. Don't forget to join me live in the VIP room at noon today. It's happening at noon. Carrie, Ed, hello. Richard, good morning. Zoe, good morning. We got all the usual suspects here. I love it. I love my Monday mornings. I had a really nice, relaxing weekend. I went to my wife every 6 months. She runs a charity for Ukraine, people of Ukraine who come here. She had about 80 people there yesterday. The news was there. It was great. She loves it. Peter, Nina, hello there. Infinitely. Good. This mic is a more broader mic, so when I turn away, notice my voice nothing happens to my voice. Because this room is treated for sound. I have all these little, and my door is but anyways, the one at work is dynamic because we're in like a cathedral, and there's a lot of echo there. All right, let's get into it all this morning. Got a lot to talk about. All right, so first of all, before we get too deep into analysis, a little morning gift for you guys. So you can't say I don't take care of my own. Let me give this to you guys right now, because as they say, sharing is caring. Let me unlink that. Okay, you guys are the first ones getting this. And let's just kind of go through it really quickly so we are all on the same page. Folks, this week is going to be a very volatile week for the market. Rochelle, hello there. Typically, FANG stocks, there's a 75-80% chance we'll get a rally. Not because I'm so bullish, but because seasonally, FANG stocks do well. That's why they're FANG stocks. So first of all, what are the big earnings that are coming out? Well, today you've got Verizon, you got Nucor, you got Cleveland Cliffs, but tomorrow you've got Google. Now, these are all, the first thing you have here is you have all the big earnings here, and you could see there's a lot of earnings, and you could see what the expected volatility is. So if you, for example, think Google will move more than 6%, we would go long a strangle or a straddle. Same thing for Visa. Tesla's coming out tomorrow. Ooh, look at the volatility that's expected on Tesla, 9.7%, which means it can go up $20 or down $20 instantly. And I'll talk about Tesla in a bit again right now. You got GE, you got Texas Instrument, you got Meta, IBM, you've got Microsoft on Friday. Look at Microsoft, only expecting 4.8%. Amazon, 8.1%. So we'll get into this as we get into later in the week. But as far as the expectations, you could see the implied volatility on the first things. And if you scroll down the list, you will see what the expectations are per share for every one of those and more. These are all the stocks that are coming out. And I posted here if it's before the open or after the close. So you guys could see. But this is pretty. This has everything. So you could see here, I've talked about what the expectations are for Tesla. I talked about what the expectations are. I did this while I was still in bed this morning, so it's not as clean as I'd like it to be, but it has everything there. So Meta after the close, I should put this over here. Let me put that over here because it is after the close. So you guys could see everything that's coming out. And as the week progresses, we will be talking about all of this. After the close on Thursday, you've got Microsoft. So you got Meta, you got Microsoft, you got Google, and you've got Tesla. And we already had Netflix, which tanked on Friday, which could be setting up for a perfect gap to green. Yes, I said it here first. I'll also post this doc. Via email, and I'll post it again in the VIP room so you guys could have it this afternoon, okay? Just FYI. So the only thing we need to really worry about right now is, and these are the big ones, is Nucor, Metals, and Verizon. Verizon is a big communication stocks. And look at the volatility on Cleveland Cliffs, 7.7%. Like this is something I probably want to write something on. Sell two sides as opposed to buy two sides. But again, just pointing it out, that looks like a little too much volatility for a paper company. But maybe there's something priced in that I'm not aware of. But at least this will give you some idea of what's expected. I don't know anybody else that does this. So I think this is really good for you to have. Like Meta, they're expecting a 9.1% move. IBM 5.8. So you could see here what's expected. But we're going to be gearing up for Google and Tesla for tomorrow. So expect a little subdued trading action going into some techs. I don't think techs are going to be rocking and rolling as much today. And again, Verizon is the big daddy for today. The market's up before earnings. I wouldn't fall for this. I mean, this is nice. People need we need a little rally. But there's a certain level we need to go above in the S&P, and I'll talk about that as well. Rebecca, Ricky, Wayne, good morning to all of you. Jacques, good morning to you. All right. So let's continue. And by the way, in the pit, I kept you guys out of trouble last week completely. We didn't have any monkey business in the pit last week. All right. So now you know what's expected as far as earnings are concerned this week. Volatility. We have to watch volatility. On Friday, I told you that we typically peak out around the 21 level unless there's something really massive going on. I think this is a peak for now. I think volatility is going to revert. If not, watch it for this level. If I were you, I would write this down. Hey, Marshall, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, we didn't have any losers last week in the trading pit. It was which is pretty typical actually. So again, 2180. Write this number down. I'd like to see us not go up above this level today. If we reverse, we didn't take a loss on Google. We took a profit on Google, Jonathan. Yeah. For example, let's take a look. That's the beauty of having everything. That's the beauty of having everything recorded. Let's see here. There we go. In at 160, 156.35, out at 156.79. Take profit on Google. We'll be back on a pullback right there. No monkey business. Don't say I lost something when I clearly did not. Let's not do that, Jonathan. Unless you're not in the program. Yeah, I played it really safe, and I kept you completely out of trouble last week in the pit. Completely, all of you. And I dare anybody to say that I didn't. And we made money on every trade. Yeah, Google, CRM, and two others. That's right, Tony. Tony keeps track of things. No, we didn't take any loss in the pit last week, or the week before, or the week before, or the week before that. We've been making straight gains in the pit. All right, so volatility. Volatility is already here this morning. We're already here. This is the level we need to break through to see buying coming into the market, and that's at the 1673 level. The two levels you want to write on your sheet are 2180 and 1670. These are the two levels you want to write down. I'm hoping that we're going to break the 1670 and then go back into our range. And once we go into this range, the downside trajectory is completely behind us. That's right, Adam and Tony. That's right. You're welcome. You're welcome. And if you didn't get out of CRM when I told you to, you could have gotten it later out in the week and made more money, by the way, just FYI for the record. So again, 1670 and 2170 are the levels we want to keep an eye on. Please, please, please keep your eye on volatility this week. It's extremely telling of what is going on. Also, the bond market, notice we're starting to come up and fill this gap. I think the negative news for the kid it needs to be digested. I don't think the Fed is going to give us more negative news till later this week because we have the employment report, and I'll go through that in a minute. But look at this gap we have here, and I think we're going to try to fill this gap. We are down a little bit today, but I think this pivot will hold unless the market starts cooling down, and I think we're going to have a little more flight to quality. So keep your eye on volatility, especially the 2180 level and the 1660 level or thereabouts. And keep your eye on TLT of whether we continue. My theory is we're going to start coming back up here and testing this level and then breaking down again. We don't just go straight down. We test. Let me tell you how the markets move, okay? This is the time to start. This is the time to get your pen and paper ready. We make a move. We rest. We test. We make another move. We make a move. We rest. We test, and we make another move. It would behoove you not to write that down because I will be explaining this over the next several months. And if you know anything about market profile, then you're probably going, yes, he actually knows exactly what he's talking about. Markets, the way the auctions move is they make a move, they rest, they test, and they make another move. I didn't say the test is in the same direction as the move. It could be the opposite. But that's how auctions work. They move, they rest, they test, and they make another move. If you write that down, and when you really understand what it works, and I'll be going over that several times in the next couple of months, you will have a much better understanding of what phase of the market we are in. And if you understand what phase of the market we are in, then you will know when your favorite indicator is going to be completely useless or extremely productive. And I know you guys want to know more of that than anything else in this world for whatever reason. So again, keep your eye on these levels and keep your eye on this little baby gap we have here. We have a similar type of gap. Oops. We're actually right here right now. So we're a little lower. But again, I think we're going to be coming up. I don't think we're going to break this low right here. If we start breaking this low, it's going to start impacting technology again. Again, please, please, please keep your eye on volatility today and bonds. And obviously I'll keep updating you on the Telegram channel. All right. News this week. What do we got this week? Last week was really quiet. We got new home sales. We got durable goods. This is the big report right here, GDP and personal income and consumer sentiment if it came out over here. By the time consumer sentiment comes out, the personal income will already have taken out all the volatility and obviously earnings. So it is expected seasonally. This week happens to be the most volatile week of the quarter for obvious reasons, okay? Expect a lot of volatility. If we don't get a lot of volatility, it's actually not a good thing. This is a normal time to have a lot of volatility, okay? So you guys have earnings. You know what reports we're looking at. We're looking at the GDP. We're looking at personal consumption expenditure, and we're looking for this number to go down. If this number doesn't go down, it's not going to be bad. If this number is above 2.8, it's not going to be good. And if this number is above 2.9, it's not going to be good. We need to break these levels so the GDP is lower because otherwise expenditures are too high. So the number needs to go lower. It needs to cool off. It's way too high. And then you have your personal income numbers on Friday. The only numbers I am looking at, okay, are year-over-year core and PCE price. These two numbers right here. Those are the only numbers. Those are the only numbers that I am looking for. Whoops. Let me just highlight this here. Those are the only numbers that I'm looking at. I don't care about any of the other numbers. What happened over the last 30 days means absolutely nothing to me. I care about year over year. I want personal price index to go down. I want to see 2.7. You see how they're expecting higher? It would be so fantastic if this number can be 2.5, although I'm not expecting it, and either are they. They're looking at tight numbers, but they're not looking at a great number. If this core PCI number is higher, oh, the Fed is going to have some explaining to do. Lucy, you have some explaining to do. Ricky, I was watching I Love Lucy over the weekend. So funny. Lucy, you have some explaining to do. All right. So these are the numbers we're looking at. Let's talk technicals a little bit. This will be a really good example for you to see what happens when markets go down to sector fragmentation, since I've been talking about it for so long. And since we've been doing this, I don't think you guys have seen what sector non-fragmentation looks like. So let's see. Remember what I told you? When markets go down, they get defragmented. When markets go up, they become fragmented and lopsided and all over the place. So let's see how things are looking now. Markets really had a nice downside move last week, right? Okay. Defensive, 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 semi-defensive, defensive, defensive, defensive. Wait a minute. What's going on here? What happened? They're in line with each other for the most part, right? Mid caps, yes. Communication is down here finally next to Russell 2000, and the S&P's here, okay. And then real estate, a little off, but Bitcoin, home builders, consumer discretionary, QQQ, technology, semiconductors. Look at that. Now, do you remember this 2 weeks ago when communication was here, chips were here, technology was down here? How does it look now, folks? Can you guys see what a non-fragmented market looks like for the most part? Notice communication is next to Russell 2000, and Russell 2000 is not that far off of mid caps. And look at consumer discretionary, QQQ, technology, and semiconductors. They're next to each other. Let's keep this between us. That means markets are now able to generate some rhythm. Now, are you guys following this? Remember, now let's just go back 2 weeks ago. Let's go back 1 week. Let's go back another week. Energy, communication services, technology, QQQ, semiconductors. What, where, when, consumer discretionary, retail, Russell 2000, and everything. Look how this is a salad right here. This is a salad, okay? A total salad. This takes away 85% of fragmentation. I could be nitpicky here, but look, defensive, 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 semi-defensive, defensive, 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 some speculative, some speculative, some speculative, mixed. Real estate has been really taking it down because of interest rates, so that makes sense. You got ETFs, you got home builders, interest rate sensitive, you got consumer discretionary, QQQ, technology, semi. Look at these. If communication services was right here instead of right here, and if if real estate was up here, we'd be done. Only two are out of place. That's what happens, folks, when markets do this. When they do this, they get out of balance. When they do this, they get imbalance, and then they start getting ready to go higher again. So is the market ready to go higher again? Almost. Maybe even so right now. Fragmentation is not that bad. And you can clearly see that defensive stocks are leading and speculative stocks are lagging, which is how it should be in a bearish or a defensive type of market cycle. Okay. I really wanted to show you this because I thought for a minute there, if we keep going up, you guys just will stop believing me, and you'll stop believing that there is such a thing as a non-fragmented market. But yeah, it's possible. And this is what a normal, healthy-ish. This is typically what you're seeing. This is the level of fragmentation you see in a regular market, where there's just not much fragmentation, where things are really next to each other. Like Russell 2000 is next to mid caps. Like all the tech sectors are next to each other except for communication right here. But this is how it's supposed to be. Because if you think there's a big difference between consumer discretionary, QQQ, and technology and semiconductors, then you need to re-examine your analysis of the market. And by the way, Cam, I was on Customer Service Live on Friday. I'll be in some times, maybe later in this month or beginning of next month. But remember, folks, Cam has a program from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Go to Customer Service Live. It's in your members tab. Hit the red button, and you can get on it ASAP. Customer Service Live. All right, let's talk a little bit about Let's talk about sectors. I mean, not sectors, fragmentation in the market. And let's see where our levels are. We talked about fragmentation. Let's see where the levels are. Then we'll talk about global news, and then I'll talk about individual stocks. So S&P 500, let's go to these levels. So let me start drawing these. Let me start drawing these levels here. All right, as we go down. Okay. So where are we right now? We're right here. We have the overnight session. The levels you want to keep an eye on today are 500 on the SPY and 493. By now, does the number 500 have any significance to you? Let me know if it does or not. It's right here. Do you remember what I told you last week about the 500 level about 5 times? And I demonstrated with a graph, and I showed you a Telegram channel how we hit 500, how we hit this level and we bounced right down off of it. This is a very significant level. It's not right at 499. It's around 5,501, but say it's close enough, like around here somewhere, right here. So the number is, yes, I'm sure everybody remembers, 504 exactly. Well, that's the level right here. So the first level we need to go above is 500. Then the next level above that is 504. If we break 500 today, which I'm going to be keeping an eye on, there's a good chance we'll test the 504, 505 level. That will start getting us out of the doghouse. Okay? But we need to overcome the 500 level first and then go up to the 504 level. All right? On the QQQ, I'm not even going to go higher right now because we just don't know what's going to happen. On the QQQ, we're between the 415 and the 420 level. I want us to go above 420. Just think 420, like the date 420, the date they legalized pot. 420, we need to overcome 420 to start getting out of the doghouse. The next level above 420 is 425, and then you have a wide range here all the way to 433. We're going to be keeping an eye on these levels all week, and I'm hoping to God that you're writing these down right now. The Dow Jones has almost gained back everything it erased on Friday. It wasn't really all that bearish. The Dow Jones looks like it's building a base here, or it was already as of Friday, and that's good because blue chip should be leading when techs are breaking down. I'm not going to draw a level down. Yeah, I will. I'll do it. Why not? It's a good level right here. There's definitely a level right here. Definitely a level right here. So the level we don't want to break is 37,650. The level we want to stay above is 37,824. And the level we want to budge against is 38,600. And if earnings are good, hopefully we will start coming back here. And if we come here, there's a good chance we could hit the highs. And I'll extend these levels once we're past this. But for now, we just sit tight and hold on right here, okay? I'm hoping we're going to come up above that. Let's talk a little bit about global economy and what we can expect. Ooh, it erased all of my stuff. Why does it do that? Why does it erase all of my stuff? Let's see. Yeah, it erases everything. Look at that. I don't like that. All right. So we got a lot of heavyweights report. Let's see if it held them here. No, I guess not. No, I'll figure out a way to hold it because it was highlighting everything. So we got big heavyweight earnings. I'll just highlight it while I'm with you, doing it at the same time. Later this week, in Friday's session, we had the S&P drop to a 1.5-month high, and NASDAQ fell to a 3-month low. I mean, not highs. We also had bad news for Netflix and Taiwan Semiconductor and AMD, which pulled techs down quite a bit. Goolsby on Friday says, now imagine when he's talking about this, imagine he's talking about the kid and he's talking about the bike. There you go, PM. He said to the kid, your dad isn't making any more money right now. We need to take a pause. You never want to make too much of any 1 month's data, but daddy's not making as much money. After 3 months of him not getting a raise, we can't ignore it any further. So we have to wait till daddy gets a raise. And there's a 15% chance of a raise drop. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is going to be more around 5 to 10%. Earnings, I already talked about all the major earnings we have this week. You guys all know what's happening. We have the big reports are going to be the employment data this week, as I've mentioned it to you. That's going to be the big report, personal income, and also GDP, as I mentioned that as well. Europe is up just a little bit. They're gaining traction. There was escalation of the retaliation. Retail bank stocks gained ground on Monday. Auto stocks underperformed, but they're firming up a little bit. Asia is firming up a little bit. Europe, excuse me, is filling up a little bit. Asia closed lower despite peers notching, kept its interest rates unchanged on Monday, not getting any tailwind from China, but we're not getting anything crazy from China either. Japan closed higher today, giving us finally some tailwind. Chip-related stocks lost ground. They're looking at interest rate decision coming out on Friday. Expect Japan to be middle ground today. All right, let's talk about some unpleasantries. Good morning, all. Atlan said, and your mommies run off with the trend again, sweetie. All right. Do you guys remember what I told you last week about Tesla? Does anybody remember what I said last week about Tesla? No? Well, let me show you Tesla. It got downgraded again today, and it's down right now 3.4%. How many times did I tell you to stay away from this stock? I'm just curious. Did anybody listen to Uncle Roger? Did anybody, were you guys trying to average into this stock like an idiot? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't be an idiot. Make money. It's better. It makes better sense. Don't bottom pick. Don't bottom pick. Moondog is in the house. That's right, Tom. That's right, Ed. I told you to stay away from this stock, but I keep getting emails. Roger, it's such a good stock. It's going to come back. Look at this thing. Why would you want to? It broke down. Look at this stock. It broke down, and he has bad news coming out every day. I've been talking about it every day, Ricky. You're right. Every single day. Carlos said 100% of the time, we just kept trying. Nate didn't listen. I did say to leave it alone, like every 5 minutes and on Telegram. All week last week, I told you to leave it alone. Dumpster fire. So let's talk about why Tesla's down. Pre-market, after cut prices, including China, Germany, they cut prices again. That's not good. Salesforce is up. They're not going to be getting into a merger. So if you shorted that stock on my advice last Monday and made profit, you should be out of that stock now. It's going to rally on this news. The reason it went down is because of that stupid merger. Atlan, right now, I wouldn't be doing anything on it. Right now, I'd be waiting for it to come back. We got earnings. We're not going to do anything on it this week because you got earnings. And even if Tesla comes up to here or up here or up here, it doesn't matter. You're gambling because just as easily it can go down up here on earnings too. Why do you want to put your money at such a risk? It takes you so much to make your earnings. Why do you want to jeopardize it on something so stupid? You know? Don't know about NVIDIA being a dumpster fire. All right, let's talk about stocks we're looking at today. And by the way, speaking of momentum levels, we still have nothing really crazy going on. You've got 29 stocks making 90-day breakouts. There's a lot more today than there were on Friday. And you've got 98 making 90-day breakdowns, which means the markets are not overextended one way or the other. My biggest suggestion for you folks today is to keep an eye on volatility and whether VIX is going to come down to the 1670 level, especially towards the end of the day, or break out. Don't trade Tesla. Please wait till there's some stability. After it has stability, then we can trade Tesla. Don't try to go into a burning fire, into a burning building. You just don't know how you're going to come out of it. If you guys don't understand that, I don't know how to explain it to you. 4 times I said it last week, and I still got emails over the weekend. But Roger, but what about this stock? It's a dog, I tell you. Look, it broke down. Remember I drew these levels for you and it broke down and it just kept going down. Atlan says, I have a gambling addiction. It would seem so. I am listening to you as my sponsor. Good. And you know what else you may want to do, Atlan? You may want to read Mind Traps 30 times every morning since you're a gambling addict. But you know what? You're better than most because you're willing to admit it. The first sign is admission. Admission. Look at this thing. It's down $5 today. All right. All right. But Roger, earnings are coming. Maybe earnings will save it. Maybe, maybe not. But why do you want to put yourself in that position? You're literally a sitting duck. All right, Rebecca. Excellent. Yeah, NVIDIA was not on my radar. I got an angry email last week. Roger, how dare you miss NVIDIA last week? It wasn't on my target last week. I miss trades all the time. All right, let's talk about stocks to the downside, and then I'll talk about stocks to the upside. I miss stocks all the time, folks. All the time. I have my little stocks that I focus on, and that's it. Good, 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 good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, FOMO addicts is no good. All right, stocks to short. NVIDIA, Intel, ARK. I think ARK has some more downside to go. Kathy, our friend Kathy, hasn't been doing a great job of managing her capital. MDB. Ooh, look at that. We got over 300 people here. Love it. MDB, Ulta. And I want to see stocks that are really going down. I also want to short stocks that were going down before the market started going down. I'm going to repeat what I just said because I know you missed it because you think it's not that important. I want to short stocks that started going down before the market started going down, not after with the market. That would show me real weakness, not stocks that started going down 3 days ago. I hope that makes sense. Ulta, LVS, Las Vegas Sands. Oh, baby, look at that. That's a nice short right there. Wolf. What a good name for a company, right? Doesn't want to show me Wolf. There we go. There's Wolf. Nice breakdown. ZTS. I know it's a shock. It's the first time you've heard me talk about this stock, right? And notice, I keep talking about the same stocks over and over. First time you're hearing this one, right? Rebecca says you're good at what you do and it shows. Well, thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate it. You got to think of it like this, Rebecca. With one of the richest families in the world hire me to privately trade their account if I wasn't. But thank you. I appreciate you saying that. PPG. Vail Resorts. This is a new one on our list. I don't remember seeing this one on our list, but I like it. Especially with summer coming up. Now, how about this one, right? First time we're talking about this stock. We've never talked about this stock before. And more entertaining. That's now, Michael, now you're really, that makes me happy. I like that. This is a dog. And I've talked about this stock right here, right here, right here, right here, and right here. And I have it in my notebook in case you don't believe me with the dates. SEDG. These solar stocks, when they really start dumping, boy, oh boy, they can move $4 or $5 a day. And it's going down really slow. Now, when you see a stock like that that's going down slow, don't expect miracles. You'll stay with it for several days, maybe, as it comes down, but it's moving in the right direction. It's okay to be in a low volatility stock. Just have the right expectations for it. Just don't expect like a drop of $5 in 5 minutes. Am I going to give some trades in the pit this morning? Probably, Thomas. More than likely. I usually give trades in the pit in the morning. Probably, more likely than not. You get about 1 to 2 trades in the pit a day on average. Let me ask you, Tom, is there a different question that you're really asking me? Let me know if there's a better question, because I think you're trying to ask me a better question. Is it really infinitely? Good to know. Good to know, because I don't know that. Yeah, let me know if there's a specific question. If you're asking me if I want to go long, if I'm, or if that's the question you wanted to ask me. If that's the question, more likely than not, yes. Really? Curious Cat says my in-laws owns Vale. Oh, ouch. Insider trading, Curious Cat. I'm just kidding. Got to have a little fun here. GFS. Actually, you're not inside trading at all. Uh, a little choppy, but moving in the right direction. And as a matter of fact, Thomas, the first stocks that I'll be looking to buy or sell in the pit this morning are the stocks that I'm giving you guys right now. Well, Cam, usually Monday is a discovery day, but remember, we had so much downside. There may be some opportunities. Typically Monday, I don't make moves till the second half of the day because Mondays are recalibration. But today may be an exception because the last 2 days of last week were so bearish, we may get some upside. On the other side of that, I'm going to be extra careful because we've got earnings this week, and trading this week is like walking on a landmine and trying to dodge them. Anyhow, DV, another one right here. I'm almost done, guys. I'm actually done with the short side. Let's now do the long side. Still like Schwab. Believe it or not, even though the market went down a lot last week, there were still some stocks, more stocks now than last week that are making upside moves. So the market is not as one-sided as you may think. Gotcha, infinitely. Gotcha. So Schwab, I still like Schwab. What I may do this week in the pit, I may have more swingier type of trades as opposed to day trades. That's one thing I'm thinking about this week. It just depends on what happens. Keep your eye on Dominion Energy. It's starting to come up, and it's above the 200-day moving average. PGR, I gave you the stock last week in Alpha Top Stock and Bargain Hunter. We made money. I still like it, although it's a little bit deviated from the 8-day moving average. So what I prefer you guys do is wait for it to hit the 8-day moving average. I will talk about, Sergey, that if you just give me a minute. Let's continue. CNX. The more war happens, the more this company will be making money. Aluminum. Aluminum is a huge, huge, huge during war. So I am going to be looking at D stocks in the pit today. Lockheed Martin for obvious reasons. I'm not going to explain why. Everybody understands here why. And that goes for RTX. So I desperately wanted to put this trade on last week. Desperately. The only reason I didn't is because we have earnings tomorrow. So I really, really wanted to trade. Like, I had my finger on the trigger, and I said, I can't. What if I get stuck? I don't want to get stuck during earnings. But I really like this stock, and this is the same theory as LMT. It's been one of the best performing stocks. Sprouts is coming back. Yep, it has been, Curious Cat. It's been green for weeks. I know people like when I do swings, and nobody complains when I do swings in the pit. I just like the day trades better because I'm naturally a day trader. So, and I'm naturally a very short-term trader, as you guys can probably see that by now. Sprouts Farmers Market. DBA. We never talked about this stock. This must be a big surprise for all of you, right? Real big surprise. How many times have I talked about this stock in the last 2 weeks? 10 times? Maybe more? GBDC. I've never traded this stock here. GBDC. I've never, ever traded this stock. If you guys have, let me know how it trades. I don't even know how liquid it is, but it is showing up on my radar today. Looks really good. We got to look at any stock that's, and you don't have to worry about the option on this one. It's not expensive. It's only $16. Good, 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 good. Good, Atlan. Good, good, good. Well, then you should join the pit because that's what we do in the pit. Another stock that's looking fantastic with good volume too. Arthur says, how do I find this stock? I have a scanner and a screener that's in the members area of the VIP room where I show you exactly the screener I use to find these stocks in the stock fetcher. Alaskan Airlines still looking pretty good. I'm interested. I'm very curious if airlines are going to continue their momentum this week or if they're going to finish out. It'd be nice to see more momentum. Fox, this one's starting to look a little interesting. We want to wait for it to cross above the 200-day and close above the 200. Yeah, Atlan, if that's what you're into, then the pit is definitely your cup of tea. And POR, my last stock for today. And this is also a utility company. Wait for it to bypass, close above the 200 another day. So let's talk about momentums. Momentum, I know you guys like to watch momentum levels. As I said last week, the 200-day is very, very stable. So I'm not really seeing a market crash or anything like that. I think what we're seeing right now is more than necessary. You could see that a lot of these are struggling. The S&P 500 has 35% of stocks trading above the 50-day moving average, which would make it a good time to start going long right now. Potentially. Here's the 50-day. It's got more downside, but again, usually they don't happen all at once. You have a pullback here, and then you have up. But I would be worried if we were over here. The fact that we're over here is pretty comforting. We don't have that much more to go. And if you look at the QQQ, which that's what I would be. Let me show you guys something. If you look at the QQQ, we're already down below this level. We're almost there. We need to have a little balance before finishing this auction rotation, which will probably come down here, which is why I say keep your eye on volatility. But one of the things I wanted to show you, if you look at the SPY, where this is the 100-day moving average. Look how close. I don't want to delete this because I just added this, but look how close we came to the 100-day moving average. And you look at the QQQ, we're below it right now, and we're between the 200 and the 100. But what I think is going to happen is I think we're going to test the 100-day today, and that's at the 423.43 level. I think we're going to test this and bounce. Be careful. This is a real downside move. And this is what I want to end today's session with, okay? The market is going to try to do everything humanly possible to make you believe that it's going higher. This is the NASDAQ 100 graph intraday chart. Please don't fall for a banana in the tailpipe. Just because this market can go all the way up to here and still turn around and be perfectly bearish, all the way up to the 434, 430, right up here. It could still go up here and turn bearish. The SPY, I'm going to tell you right now, the SPY, I haven't seen a breakdown from the SPY in a while, the kind that I saw from this 504 level. Look at how much resistance it has here. Look at how much resistance it has here. It'll probably overcome the 500 level, but please keep your eye on this 404, 405 level. It can really, really screw you hard, okay? So don't get so happy because you see the market going up today. I would be much, much happier picking trades to the short side on this rally than to the long side until I see a real confirmation. Now, folks, I got something interesting for you, and this is brand new. Tomorrow, I love you tomorrow. Former NASDAQ market maker Jack Carter, he just discovered conclusive evidence that certain mega cap tech stocks could skyrocket 8.2% after earnings on Wednesday. He called me to verify what he saw in this data. We recorded the phone call, actually. Now, there's no guarantees, but you have to see this with your own eyes to believe it. Follow this link to see it, and you'll see the private conversation we have. Don't wait. It's a great opportunity. It's happening. It's happening this It's happening tomorrow. So don't miss out. It's happening at 10 a.m. tomorrow, right after I finish this and go into my VIP room. Check it out. It's brand new. It's really, really hot, and you guys are going to love it. We've got 325 people in this room. That's as many people as I get into my VIP room, in the room with sending you guys, everybody, an email. I didn't send anybody an email. I got 325 people here just by going on the Telegram channel. Thank you for supporting me. Don't forget to check out Customer Service Live. Be careful today. If you don't see me jumping in quickly, it means I'm very nervous about the upside. I want to see that 504 level digested, okay? I will see you later. Any questions, comments, or feedback, roger@rogerscott.com. And even though I won't be here on Friday, I'll be in Tampa watching the market, and I'll be available for you guys if you need me every step of the way. Bye. Have a great day today. Hope you guys are doing well. Send me an email if there's anything I can do to help you.